One of the things that I help clients with is rewriting soul contracts. So I'm going to just lay out some of the basic elements of what you would need to do to rewrite your soul contract. And this should give you a pretty good start. And if you need additional support, you can see if I have any appointments available at lovelikeanocean.com. Okay, to start, your intention. You have to decide what you do want. So you may notice that your current reality, you have repeating themes or things that you feel bound by something and that doesn't feel right. So you notice what you actually would want, right? So it's very different for everyone. This can range from like small things to like, demonic soul binds and things like that. So you kind of notice where you are and you notice where you want to be. So intention is the first step. Second step is karma clearing, because whether this be something large or small, a big shift you want to make or a small shift, your karma of your ancestors affects you. So this could be something as literal as like your grandma did a deal with the devil, like she was like in the Church of Scientology and like signed your life over to demons so that she could get power or something. Like that is actually quite common. Also, when there is SA in families, demons get passed down through the lineage. So that's like one kind of thing, but it could also just come in the form of like neuroses, like behavioral patterns that are inherited, right? So you want to look at your karma because you inherit the karma of your ancestors. So say your grandma had a lot of grief that she never processed or a lot of bitterness or something, that will get passed on to you. So you want to start by looking at like, maybe it's not even yours. Maybe that's why you're like, this doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? So you need to clear things for your ancestors. You need to undo all of those contracts. You need to declare them null and void. And so clearing karma. Then you want to do your own shadow work. So for you, you have to look into yourself, right? So shadow work is just basically realizing what your unconscious patterns are and what the hidden benefit in those unconscious patterns are. And there's a free shadow work worksheet at my website, lovelikeanocean.com. Okay, so then the final step is parts work, which is kind of also an offshoot of shadow work. It's more just like discovering what's going on inside of you beyond your conscious awareness. So most people are operating in like 10% of their conscious awareness, and they're like, have a nice day, I'm a nice person, oh yeah, great. And that's really not who we are. We're so much more than that. There's anger, there's resentment, there's bitchiness, there's boundaries, and we're told that we're not supposed to show up in that way. Like, can you imagine if you actually just like gave everyone the stank face that you wanted to, or, and if you didn't mask, right? So parts work. So say you want a relationship, right? But you have two parts, like me. When I was learning how to do parts work, I realized I had a nun and a wild woman. So we have to get these different parts on the same page. You need to let whichever parts there are. Maybe there's like the wifey and the slut, whatever it is. I don't know. Hopefully the wifey is a slut, because that would make for a happy marriage. So you really want to get them on the same page. So you need to let those parts of you have a conversation and then work together as like one system moving forward together, right? So let me just summarize that for you. First, set your intention, then look into any inherited karma, like emotional baggage or actual deals with the devil. And then shadow work and parts work. So depending on like what you're dealing with, this can happen really, really fast. It can just be like super easy one session, or just, one, you sit down with yourself and you go in there and you look at everything and you're like, boom. Or it could be like excavation and integration and stuff like that. It's different for everyone, but that's the basic roadmap. Okay, set your intention, look at your ancestral karma, Do your shadow work, notice the different parts, and yeah, start there and let me know how it goes.